Welcome back. Now we answer questions we've received from you, our viewers. If you have a question, visit our website, QuranSpeaks.com. Okay, Dr. Shabir, the question here is, are there contradictions within the Quran?
My simple answer is no. Some people have tried to point out that there are contradictions, but this is just their misunderstanding or lack of understanding, or their lack of care to just try to understand the book in the light of itself. Muslim commentators say that the Quran is explained by itself. Part of the Quran will interpret another part. Al-Qur'anu yufassiru ba'duhu ba'da. Part will explain another part. Something is said in brief in one place, but it was said in more detail in another place. Or one aspect of it may be given in one place and another aspect in a different place, but they're not contradictory or even contrary. They're just different aspects of the same issue. Mm-hmm. So, for example, somebody may point out that while the Quran clearly says in many places that the heavens and the earth were created in 6 days, they say that when we go to the 41st chapter of the Quran, from the 9th to the 11th verses, we find a detailed description there which gives the number of days for various aspects of the creation, and when we add them up, we get 8 days. And indeed, there is a mention of 2 and 4 and 2 again. So yeah, if you add 4 plus 2 plus 2, you are going to get 8. However, who says that you're supposed to add them like this? Well, if it was a sequential narrative that says this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then each segment has these number of days, then you can say, yes, that's what you're supposed to do, add up the number of days in your mind. But the Quranic language is very subtle, and there is a connector which is used in Arabic, fa, which suggests a sequence, but there's another connector, thumma, which could indicate a sequence, but it could also be just a referring back to something that was already mentioned, or it might be some additional information, or moreover. Dr. Maurice Bouquet, looking at this in detail in his book, The Bible, the Quran, and Science, he has pointed out that the first mention of 2 days for the creation of the earth, and then followed by 4 days for putting the sustenance in the earth, that gives us the 6, which is attested everywhere else in the Quran, that this is the six days in which God created the heavens and the earth. Now, the next mention of 2 days, finally, is the mention of the same original 2 days, which were already previously mentioned in reference to the earth, but now it's mentioned in reference to the heavens. God turned to the heavens when it was smoke and said to it, come either willingly or unwillingly. And so this is a mention of the same first 2 days. So we still have 6 days. 2 days plus 4 days, and then a reference back, like a flashback to the original 2 days. Mm-hmm. It's not 2 plus 4 plus another 2. So it is still 6 days. And but one who doesn't want to do any of this thinking just says, oh, it looks like 8 days and we found an error in the Quran here. Let's tell the next Muslim I meet about this.
So are there certain places in the Quran where, let's say, the pronouncements change, for example, about drinking alcohol?
Yeah, so Muslim scholars have dealt with this, and they have said that within the lifespan of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, more so within what we might call the prophetic period, where the Prophet, peace be upon him, receives the revelation when he was about 40 years old, and then he passes away at the age of 63. So within this 23-year span, there were many different and changing circumstances in his lifetime, and the Muslim community was new to all of this. They came from a period that is referred to in our history as the period of ignorance, and now suddenly they're giving all these new regulations about Islam. So they now need time to adjust to all of this. And so in the early stage, they might have been given a sort of a lax ruling, and then later on they're giving a stricter ruling. So both are mentioned in the Quran, but they have to be interpreted in the light of each other. And these are not contradictory rulings. It's more so like something is not said. Mm-hmm. So for example, they are asking about alcohol, and they're being told, okay, alcohol has some benefits, but also a lot of harm. So, think about this. So people would know from that that this is not welcome in the Quran, so we're going to give up alcohol. But it doesn't specifically say you have to give it up. Only later it says, this is from the work of the devil, so, leave it altogether. So this is not contrary to what was said before, because what was said before was simply an answer to the question, what do we say about alcohol? Is it good or bad? And the answer is, it has some good things, but much more bad things about it. So use your judgment about that. And then later on, it's saying that you can't have it all at all.
So, Dr. Shabir, how would a person approaching the Quran sort out these seeming contradictions in their mind? How do they figure out that these are not contradictions?
Well, one is by looking at the commentaries on the Quran, because the commentaries will often bring together these. So you come to one place, a verse is mentioned, so you look at the commentary will say, well, this has to be understood in the light of the other verse, and then the commentary will bring it all together and tell you, okay, so at first the Muslims were being told that alcohol has more bad than good. Second, they're being told, okay, if you drink, don't come to the prayer until you know what you're going to say, because you have to be sober if you're going to pray. And then lastly, they were being told now you can no longer have it. So this is normal. I mean, laws can change for given, as time and circumstance changes. And we know this also from the Bible, in that, an old law might have been given, and then Christians believe that a new law was instituted through the life and teachings of Jesus, on whom be peace. And Muslims believe that the Quran brought, in fact, a new law altogether, but even that new law was given gradually in stages. So there is a prescription for every time and circumstance as we go.
We'll leave it at that. Thank you, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome. Look, Sophia, my inbox is full. I have questions from our viewers.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
Your questions are coming out of my ears.
That's why we've got something really exciting planned for you, a YouTube Live Q&A. You can join us live, and Dr. Shabir will answer your questions as they come in.
This event will kick off our special Ramadan programming, as well as our fundraising campaign.
It's all happening on Sunday, April 4th at 12 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel, Quran Speaks.
And that's right before Ramadan. I can't wait to see what questions we'll get.
Me too. It'll be fun to chat with you in real time.
Subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss this event.